Yeah, before I start this episode of Epic Island Battle, I want to give a big shout out and thanks to the battle animator, the Elite Omega Guardian. So if you enjoy what you see, I'm going to put a link to his channel down below. Go check him out, show him some support. Let's get down to business. Corn O'Keefe here, folks. Welcome to another episode of Epic Island Battle. Today we got Yang versus Natsu. So without further ado, let's get right down to business. Starting with Natsu from Fairy Tail himself. Ah, Natsu. A badass mage of the Fairy Tail Guild on the team that's called, Team Natsu, to be precise. He actually originally died about 400 years ago, folks, among the 5 dragon slayers that were all sent to the future, from 400 years past to freaking protect humanity, folks. An everyday thing for most anime. Stuff like that. But you might be wondering, well, what can this badass mage do? Well, I'm about to tell you, folks. Natsu's a freaking master, folks, of fire, dragon, slayer magic. If that makes any kind of sense to you, it should. He's pretty crafty with this in battle, too. Pretty freaking crafty during battle with his style of magic and his fire ability, folks. Now, folks, Natsu actually has the ability to eat flames, so to speak, absorb flames, which gives him virtually an immunity to most fire-based attacks, like fire blast attacks, fire bullets, fire explosions, stuff along those lines. His flame can get pretty hot, folks. It's actually comparable to a dragon's fire, a dragon's flame, which can actually burn through metal. That's right, folks. Natsu's fire is burning through freaking metal. So, at the very least, his fire can get to temperatures around 1,850 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 1,850 degrees Fahrenheit. That's just to melt iron, folks. So, it's not really specific on what kind of metal. But, so if I don't tell you anything quite yet about Natsu, I don't know what will. Let's move right on down the line about the badass. And Natsu's also pretty freaking durable, folks, in his own right. Pretty freaking durable. Able to take very heavy melee attacks. Even able to take fatal injuries and blows and still keep on fighting to a certain extent. So he is very durable, folks, in his own freaking right. Also, he's an average hand-to-hand fighter in his own right, too. Pretty dang good hand-to-hand combatant. Most of the time actually using his fire style magic and stuff like that to actually perform some of his combat style, his combat style of fighting and stuff along those lines, combining his fire with his punches and even throwing headbutts at you with a little bit of fire behind it. How's that sound to you? He's pretty physical too, folks. actually very physically potent compared to a lot of other fairy tale characters. But aside from that, he's actually shown very good agility, very swift on his feet, and very high speed movements, you might say. But it is pretty funny, folks, because he does have a small little weakness, being motion sickness. He can actually get motion sickness pretty easily, folks. But aside from that, he's generally a badass. And back on his fire potency, heck, his peak fire ability, his peak fire potency, you might want to say, can take out an entire island, can destroy an entire island, folks. So yeah. So altogether, folks, Natsu is a legendary 400-year-old badass fire mage. He has high speed movements, he's swift on his feet. He's very durable in his own right, able to suck in and absorb other fire-based attacks like fire melee attacks and fire explosions. His fire potency is powerful enough to take out and destroy an entire island. But like most other characters, he does have a weakness, and it happens to be motion sickness. So that basically sums up Natsu for you, folks. I think we'll move right on down the line to Yang from Ruby herself. Oh yeah, Yang, the badass.
Well, I think we move on down the line to Yang from Ruby, starting with this.
Oh my god.
Who's there?
Hey dude, it's me, Tank Daddy 856.
Tank Daddy? Well, how'd you get here?
You have no idea how long it took me to go to an airplane and go all the way to Florida.
Well, that's another question that I'll save for later, but again, holy crap, what are you doing here?
Well, I heard you were doing a battle, Natsu vs. Yang, so I decided to come and help you, because I don't know if you know that much about Yang. I'm going to help you, just like explain what she can do and some other shit, so yeah.
Incredible. I think we get right down to business, and it's great to have you. I mean, you came all the way here for that, and glad to have you. Let's start with this.
Yeah, Yang is a badass fighter. She is a member of Team Ruby, with her sister Ruby Rose, Vaishni, and Blake Belladonna. They plan to save the world from the monsters called Grimm.
Very good point. She's a very skilled huntress in training. I think we all know what she wields, two shotgun-like gauntlets. You mind explaining?
Yeah. It's also called the Ember Celica. She can shoot fire projectiles from these gauntlets. She can she also has something called Aura, which helps her in battle, heals her wounds and stuff.
Exactly, it helps her minor wounds, and actually can help block certain attacks, and those shotgun-like gauntlets of hers actually can help boost her own speed and jumping ability.
Punching is her main attack, so no surprise that she can punch very well.
She's a badass puncher, folks. She'll punch the shit out of you. But she does have a weakness, a minor little weakness. She's not good against kickers.
Like when she fought Neo took advantage, and Yang was fighting monsters all day, and she wasn't ready. And this is when Neo took advantage by using kicks and stuff.
Now, don't let that think that she's weak or anything. Don't take that as a weakness, because Yang herself can take on multiple foes at once.
She can take out a lot of bodyguards from Junior just by using a couple punches and a couple moves.
Punched the ground so hard it shook the ground, making a wave-like motion and knocking all the people back, all the foes she was fighting.
And one more thing, if anybody messes with her hair, she will get pissed off and she will kill you. She will mess you up if you mess with her hair.
That is a fact. And she also loves her puns. She loves her puns.
Just like another character that I want to say.
I think we know who that is, your actual favorite.
Phone booth doing on a street corner. It was Disappear in '98. Suppose I could have just used my cell.
But overall,
do you have anything?
overall, Yang is a great fighter. One of her main goals is to find her mother, become a good huntress, and protect her sister Ruby.
And let's not forget she loves her puns, and one of her little weaknesses is kickboxing. She does not like to be kickboxed.
Alright, so Corin, I think it's ready. I think we're ready for the fight.
Well, let's get down to business. I wonder if Yang has what it takes to take on everyone's favorite 400-year-old
Will
ancient fire dragon. Let's find out.
Will Natsu become the winner, or will this fight end with a Yang? Let's find out, folks.
Well, folks, it looks like Natsu won this battle. But before I tell you why, I want to give another huge thanks and a huge shout out to the battle animator, for that badass animation, the Elite Omega Guardian. Big shout out to him and thank you. So now let's get down to business. First off is speed. Okay, Natsu is relative to hypersonic speeds. He's relative to that. Yang isn't. He actually tremendously outclasses her when it comes to actual raw speed. Now that being said, Yang is fast, and Yang does have an advantage as far as her brawling and her physicality because of the fact the punches and kicks that she does survive and she can take, it does amp up her strength. But when you're someone like Natsu with your full-on fire potency that can blow up an entire island, that's not really going to matter if an island busting attack or blast hits you. I don't think she's going to be getting any amps from that. Now you might argue she's a better hand-to-hand combatant, but even so, folks, that's just an argument, because Natsu himself is also a badass fighter. We've all seen him headbutt people, for crying out loud. I think he knows how to throw a punch. And then you go over to, the fire aspects. Really, the only thing of hers that would actually hurt and physically affect Natsu would be her actual punches. He'll be able to dodge her shotgun-like gauntlets. He'll be able to dodge her long-range bullets, and her, red fire exploding shells really won't do much of nothing to Natsu due to his, immunity to being hurt by flames, fire blasts, fire melee attacks, bullets, because of his absorbing fire technique and ability. And he even has way more experience in fighting than she does, being, close to 400 years old, if not right at 400. So yeah, Natsu is the winner of this epic island battle. For the simple facts, he outclasses her in speed, strength, arguably, and durability, power output, and experience. So yeah, the winner of this epic island battle is Natsu from Fairy Tail. Hope you enjoyed it for what it was. As always, have a great day. I'll catch you next time. Peace.